All right, everybody. Good afternoon. It's a Sunday and a cold day, so I thought I'd work on some scrapbooking. I'm going to work on making these videos a little bit shorter so that you can see what I'm doing uh, in a quicker fashion. So I've pre-done a lot of the things. But this is a scrapbook of a trip to the Indiana State Fair 2.5 years ago. And you can see that I'm doing kind of a green theme. Got these cricket cutouts that I've already pre-made of corn, and I cut it in half so that I can use it as the borders for this setup. We have a little coin here that we got in the Pioneer Village. I'm going to show you how I attach that to the page. And then, of course, our pictures. Another thing I will show you is what I'm going to do with the program. You can see how the program folds out. And on the back, it's really just an ad, and so that's helpful for how I'm going to fix this to the display so that it can be fully seen. So I'm just going to pull things off to the side. You can see that I'm overlapping my border with some of the pictures, so I'm going to need to take some of those pieces off. While this is in place, though, I'm going to go ahead and put these pieces on so that I have a reference for where to go. And you may notice, I don't know if you can see this, but I have put a faint black outline around this border with a black Sharpie. And the reason I've done that is it helps it to stand out a little bit better on the page when you're putting solid colors next to solid colors. So I'm just going to make sure that this is lined up well, and then press it down. This tool here comes from the Cricut machine. I use it quite a bit in helping me to pick pieces up of the project when I'm working on things. So again, carefully line up, and I'm going to place it, and that'll go there. So we'll take that piece out. I'm going to take the program off and work on placement of these two items. I have already created the borders for the pictures and glued those down. One of the things I try to do when I have the full layout is keep things in place, because it helps me see how to place other pieces when I'm putting it all together. And with this photo set, you can see it goes from top to bottom of the page. When you have a 12 by 12 page, two 6-inch pictures will go the entire width. This is going to be the border for the program. Oops. You do it a little too fast sometimes on these pages, it doesn't stick well. But here we go. Place this in place. Now I'm actually not going to attach this to here. Once I have slid this piece, this page into the plastic page protector, I will actually put sticky tape runner across here, 3 lines, and I will stick it to the outside of the plastic. That way you can still see the border through the plastic, but the reader, without taking it out of the plastic page protector, will be able to open it to look at what was happening. So I'm just going to leave that like that. Again, remember, this was going to go over the top of the pictures, and I made sure when I was laying this out that it wasn't going to cover anything too important. You can see it's just and that'll help create some interest on the page by creating that overlap. Just some sticky tabs, and then we'll get this one into place. There we go. Alright, so that side is done. I'm going to slide that over here a little bit, and we'll work on this page. So I'm going to slide that up there. I'm actually going to bring this back down so I can put this placement equally. Have some pictures here that are a little loose, so I'm actually going to pull those off and redo them. We had some sticky tape runner that was not working very well, and so I've had to redo some of my layouts. But you can kind of see how I'm doing that. Again, little tip, old photograph that I've cut, and I use that to rub down the photographs. That way I can do that without getting my fingerprints on them. Okay, in the right place, picture over. There we go. And then we'll do this one again as well. This was kind of a cool thing at the fair. They had the letters F, A, and R. And if you stood where the I was, then it spells fair, which I think is pretty cool. The slight problem is the FAR and then a letter afterwards also spells something that's not so fun, which of course my 19-year-old son at the time had to also do. That picture is not going to make it into the scrapbook though. Okay, we'll just look at the placement here, get it centered. Using the same cutout. Now, I'm going to place that last. I'm going to work on putting the border in so I can see where that is. Again, these have been outlined with a black Sharpie. Make them stand out a little bit more. Lining that right up with the edge. There we go. And now that one is in place. Perfect. And I'm just going to push this up. Push that up a bit so I can work on this. Again, so this is a piece of metal. I used Creative Memory circle cutters to cut these two circles. And I am just going to put the tape right on the back of this coin. I'm actually going to put quite a bit because it's heavy. So we'll want to get it to stick well. And then get it right centered in this green spot. There's not a lot of extra on the green. I couldn't quite cut it a little bigger. So there we go. It's now stuck. And then do the same thing again. Also using a lot of tape because it's heavy and I want it to not come off the page. So there we go. You can see all 3 layers. And one more time. Lots of tape. Keep that on the page. And just look for the right spot. I think that's it. I'm going to drop it and press it down. So there we go. The Indiana State Fair. This will be attached to the outside of the plastic page protector. Hope you had fun watching this project get put together. See you again. Take care.